Could our 2015 inductees please stand up to be recognized? Could all of our inductees stand up to be recognized? That was our piper, Evan Dawson. Let's give him a big round of applause. On behalf of the Manitoba Softball Hall of Fame, we thank each and every one of you for attending and supporting our banquet as we honor the class of 2015 here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our 14th annual Manitoba Softball Hall of Fame induction dinner. My name is Tyler Crayston. I work at 880 CKLQ Radio in Brandon, and I've spent about 12 years or so working in the Westman sports community, and very proud to be your MC for tonight's festivities. These MC positions are tough to come by. I got fired from my last MCing position because I talked about the Toronto Maple Leafs and WrestleMania too much. So I won't mention either of those subjects, and we'll just keep the thing going forward here. It's a little bit intimidating to be up here tonight. My knees are kind of shaking kind of thing because, number one, I've never spoken in front of 600 people before, and you just see them, so many Hall of Famers with so many great careers, and my kind of softball moments are few and far between. I can remember we were playing with the Boulder Legion 108s when I was around 12 years old for a big championship out in Hamiota. I was the starting third baseman at the time. Ground ball went through my legs, and the coach was shaking his head. And anyway, after we had lost the game, my brother had one of those classic dart guns, like the rubber darts. So he's shooting them at me while I'm swinging around this bat. And I'm chewing one of the darts in my mouth and looking pretty arrogant and cocky and everything like that. The bat slips out of my hand and crashes right into my grandfather's windshield of his van. So it's safe to say that I'll never be a Hall of Famer, ever. Dignitaries tonight, we got some special ones. They're at table number 30, Brandon Mayor Rick Crest and his wife Karen. Let's give them a round of applause. And at this time, I'll ask Marilyn Forsyth to come forward and say grace for us.
Creator God, we give thanks this evening for gathered together to the many who have been involved in softball in our province, and to honor those who are being inducted into the Manitoba Softball Hall of Fame this year, along with recognizing their families and friends who have supported them over the years. We give thee thanks this evening for all those involved in providing the meal and for the many hands who have prepared and who are serving it. And we join in breaking bread and in the fellowship of being together, bless our time together. We ask this in your name, amen.
Thank you very much, Marilyn. And now dinner will be served. And I'd like to call on our first speaker tonight, and that's Mayor Rick Crest.
Microphone here. Sure. Good. Well, ladies and gentlemen, my first reaction when Karen and I arrived was, wow. I had no idea what a magnificent event this was going to be, and we're just so pleased. My wife Karen and I are so pleased to have been invited to join you this evening on a tremendous celebration of inductees into the Manitoba Softball Hall of Fame. As we all know, in this province and probably others, softball and baseball are certainly the hallmark of many, many communities. And I know there's dozens of them represented in the room today. That's what you did all summer long. It brought everybody out, brought everyone together. Really, really part of our culture in Manitoba. So it's just so pleasing to see such a large gathering that have come together to celebrate all of the inductees. I know there'll be friends and family and certainly sponsors that are here to recognize the athletes, the builders, the teams that we're going to honor tonight. Sitting at our table, and I've got some past inductees, plus I have Murray Blight beside me. And of course, as you know, for all of us, especially guys, the older we get, the better we were. So don't hesitate to kind of stretch it out a little bit more there, guys. Matter of fact, Murray Blight fashioned himself as quite a pitcher back in his softball days, and one fateful game, he's kind of in trouble in about the 5th inning. His catcher comes out to the mound to have the talk, and he says, "Well, Murray, I've been kind of watching you for quite a while, and I noticed your game gets in trouble about the same time every game." And Murray says, "Well, when's that?" He says, "Right after the national anthem." So ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of Brandon City Council and indeed all the citizens of Brandon, thank you for hosting your fantastic event here in our city. Congratulations to all of the inductees, and thank you all for coming. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Rick. Our second speaker, Manitoba Softball Hall of Fame and host chairman, Mr. Murray Blight.
Thanks, Tyler. Get this thing here somehow.
Oh. We have problems? Yeah, it is a little complicated. Yep, there you go. There we are. There we go. Perfect.
First and foremost, welcome. What a fantastic crowd tonight. Give yourselves a round of applause, because I'm just ecstatic about what's happened here. Back in November at the press conference, I had said, and some of you would recollect, I want to see 500 plus people. I want to blow the doors out of the Keystone Center, the UCT Hall. Well, tonight, I think Les can verify, we're in excess of 600 people tonight, so great show. And you never want to forget anybody, but this gentleman here behind me, and there's another gentleman over there who was part of our team, and he is, and I'll get into that in a few minutes, because I am a yapper, as you know. But anyway, Bruce Lupke, and of course, what can I say about the Wheat Kings? They won last night. Well, Bruce, and he's always thinking ahead, you know, what if, you know, that possibility, going back to Calgary, Alberta, he may not be around. So I get a hold of his right-hand man, and guess what? So, Tyler, I want to say thank you for coming on board and being our MC for this evening. So once again, a big round of applause for Tyler. So we're here to celebrate the 14th annual induction ceremony of 8 individuals, 3 teams from the Manitoba Softball Hall of Fame Museum, Inc. As I said, this is an exciting occasion for everyone to reminisce accomplishments, success, and contributions to the inductees. Many of you know the Manitoba Softball Hall of Fame Incorporated is a not-for-profit organization with the objective to preserve the history of our game, of our sport, to recognize individuals, teams, and organizations that are being inducted this evening. I want to, on behalf of the board, and I'm going to introduce them in a minute, to acknowledge the 2014-15 Manitoba Softball Hall of Fame Museum Executive and Board. Yours truly as president, but you have a team, and someone know from the past, from my days of any activity, a team as everyone accomplishes more. So I'm very honored tonight to acknowledge the team of Manitoba Softball Hall of Fame. Your Vice President, Gord, Wally, and if you would stand as you're being acknowledged, please. Kim Knowles, she's secretary, but unfortunately isn't able to make it tonight. Les Newman, the treasurer for the organization. Les. I call him the past president, but really it's the historian of the Manitoba Softball Hall of Fame, past president Ellchuk. Penny Falk, board director, and Larry Dewis. And this year, a couple together, Lori and Wayne Miller. And another gentleman, and he's an inductee into the Hall of Fame that isn't with us tonight, Garth German. That's your volunteer Manitoba Softball Hall of Fame board that brings this occasion to you tonight. So thank you. Now, in regards to the inductees and the teams, it takes a lot of work. And as I just alluded to, Al, you know, we get these nominations. And I can't emphasize, and I hate the word, Ken, emphasize enough of bringing nominations in. Not just fast pitch, but softball, from whatever. And we're in a process, and we're going to be talking about how we can get more nominations involved. Because as you see tonight, with 8 individuals and of course 3 teams, I mean, wouldn't it be nice to maybe in 3 years to be in the Manitoba room, you know, a larger facility, or next year in Winnipeg, and the year after perhaps in Portage or back to Winnipeg. But it takes a committee, and for your understanding, the selection committee is an independent body that looks at all the criteria of the inductees to be. So I would like them to be acknowledged as well. Steve Berkson, Peter Dick, Bill Edwards, inductee from the Hall of Fame. I know Bill's here tonight. Bill, if you stand up there. Where is you there? Bill, thank you. Faye Finch, Charlie Coots. Al McPherson's here tonight, the inductee in the Hall of Fame. And of course, we have a representative, and that being Alan Sharp. And once again, thank you for your enthusiasm and participating. And it's not an easy task to determine who are going to be the nominees. In the last, this is our 4th time in Brandon that I've been privileged to be involved with, it's a host committee. And we haven't had many changes, I was saying tonight. So I would like them to be acknowledged for putting this event together. Kevin McLennan, would you please stand up? He's the vice chair. Where's Kevin? Thank you. Marilyn Forsythe, Trudy Ney, Gord Woolley, inductee Wayne Griffin, Brett Turner, inductee Bev Neufeld. I think Bev's out selling 50-50. And while I'm talking about Bev, as you'll see, there's a complex that we're in the process. And I can't say enough, and I don't want to take away the evening about inductees tonight, but that's a facility that's in the making and with a committee, and yours truly, but led by Brett Turner and Bev and company. We've got the first phase and the money of 600 and some thousand. So tonight, for your information, half the proceeds tonight go towards the Ashley Neufeld complex. So please be generous. You saw tonight a picture, and this is something new. So again, on our committee, Daryl Beamish took the effort to put that together. So Daryl, if you would stand. Bruce Lupke on the board. There, Bruce. Stand up there, big fella. Commentator of the Wheat Kings, what have you. Tyler Crayston, of course, and of course, last but not least, that looks after the ticket, Bev Workman, inductee as well. So the Manitoba Softball Hall of Fame host committee wish to thank the media. Westman Communications are here tonight taping. One thing that will be said, and I can't say enough about it, is that tonight you have an opportunity, you'll be able to purchase a DVD, because, I mean, a lot happens over the period of time, so Westman Communications get a hold of, or we can make arrangements. I'd like to thank them. We'd like to thank the Canad Inns, the Keystone Center, all the businesses, and you see in the program, that have sponsored, contribute, a gift in kind, whatever, for making this successful. And in closing, I want to personally say, enjoy the evening, have a great time. Thank you.
Now on page number 6 of our program, you'll find a complete list of all of our previous inductees. Can our past Hall of Famers stand up and take a big bow? And give them a round of applause as well. Now, since our last induction ceremony, several members of our softball community have left us. Let's take a moment to remember them. Thank you very much. The board would like to take this opportunity to extend their thanks and appreciation to the sponsors who have made our banquet a success tonight, and you can check out their ads found in our program tonight. Thanks to all of you who have supported the Hall of Fame through the purchase of lifetime or annual memberships, as well as your support through various donations. Another big thank you to those who have helped the board tonight in hosting our induction ceremony and banquet. Your continued support helps the induction ceremony continue and helps in smooth operation of our museum in Portage. Our museum opens this year on May the 11th and is open until the end of September. This year's softball exhibits will feature memorabilia from past and current inductees. Hall of Fame Museum is located within Fort Loraine Museum, and we invite you to take that short drive to Portage to visit our museum. Museum is always looking for memorabilia, anything related to softball, equipment, uniforms, jackets, crests, balls, scrapbooks, newspaper clippings, photos, etc. If you visit the museum this year, new displays are in place and our new photo gallery continues to expand. Back of the room tonight is Corey Asen from Heavy Metal Design, who has a display of Hall of Fame rings that are for sale, and you can speak with Corey if you're interested in getting one. Our treasurer, Les Newman, will be happy to give anybody a tax receipt who makes a financial contribution tonight to our Hall of Fame and museum, and he is at table number 42 tonight. Our lifetime members are listed on page number 4 of our program. To page number 5 of the program, it outlines the nomination process. Nominations are looked over by an independent selection committee, which makes it a final decision on the individuals and the teams that will be inducted each year. Once again, the committee has done an excellent job. If you're interested in nominating an individual or a team, you can pick up a nomination form at the back of the room tonight or download a copy from the Softball Manitoba website. The nomination deadline each year is September the 1st. On page number 1 of your program, you'll find information on the operation of our Hall of Fame board. The annual general meeting scheduled for September the 17th, and anybody interested is welcome to attend that. If you haven't done so, please take a look at the silent auction prizes that are available. Got a Warren Moon signed jersey, Brandon Wheat Kings jersey as well. Tickets will continue to be sold prior to intermission, at which time the auction will be closed. Tickets, $10 for a sheet of 25 tickets or $20 for 3 sheets. As we look ahead, 2016 induction ceremony will be held in Winnipeg at the Canad Inns on Regent on May the 7th, 2016, and we hope to see you there next year. Before we begin the induction ceremony, we are going to take a short break. Our committee will take this time to assemble the first group of inductees. Will the first group of inductees or their representative assemble near the stage to my right? I'm going to call on Don Campbell, Les Ellchuk, Gord Falk, Lois Johnston, and the 1948-52 Rumford's team. We're going to take a quick 10-minute break, and we'll be right back. This evening, we're here to formally induct 8 individuals and 3 teams into the Manitoba Softball Hall of Fame. And the inductions will be done in 2 parts. First half, we're going to induct 4 individuals and 2 teams. And after a short intermission, 4 inductees and the third team will be enshrined. You can read all about their accomplishments in our program. The individuals and teams get a stained glass award in the shape of our province, while each team member receives a smaller stained glass award in the shape of home plate. These unique awards were designed specifically for the Hall of Fame by Crafton Stained Glass Center in Winnipeg. The inductees also get a certificate to commemorate their induction into the Hall. In addition, permanent plaques with photos and text about the inductees have been produced, and they'll join the present members in our Hall of Fame gallery that is located in Portage.
Where's Brett Turner? Brett.
Laminated copies of the plaques can be ordered, and forms are available at the memorabilia table or from a board member. Laminated copies, they cost $35 when they're picked up in Winnipeg, and they're $50 if they're mailed out to you. And this is what one of them look like. So they're very nice. We intend to keep the ceremony moving as quickly as possible, and there will be no delays for photos. If anybody wants to take a picture, come to the stage and have your camera ready. Murray Blight, President of the Hall, and Gord Woolley, Vice President, will be assisting with the awards presentation. And we are now going to proceed in just a little bit with our first team induction. So our first team being inducted tonight is the 1948-1952 Rumford Ladies Curly MacKay's girls softball team. 8 of these team members played the entire 5 years. They had a dominating run, winning 5 straight league championships. It was first the Brandon and District Ladies Softball League, and then became based out of Minnedosa. We'll call up the team members. Alex Kaharski Town.
Come on over here, dear. Congratulations. Look there, you might get a picture. Come over this way. There's Sandy. You gotta get over a little more. Thank you. Now. Yeah. Okay.
Next team member, Ann Mack, and the rep is daughter Susan Wright.
He's not here.
And she's not here tonight. Bertha Easley.
Come on this way, Bertha. Congratulations. Look there, a little closer. He's directing. Yeah. Okay. Sounds good.
Our next team member, Edith Laird Nickel.
Congratulations. And look at Sandy and all those other cameras. Move over. There we go. You gotta put an X right there.
Good.
340 more.
Ethel Dunn McKee, and the rep is husband Barry McKee.
on this way there, Dad.
Yeah, I don't have my skirt on. That's
No problem.
really hard to-
Congratulations. Just be honored. You betcha.
Hazel Telford Chattel, and the rep is niece Brenda Roberts.
Congratulations. Just look at there. Sandy will take you up.
Irene Scott Watton.
Irene. Congratulations. All our conversations. I'm going to get you.
Jean Dunn Dane.
Hi, Jean. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well deserving. And you get a picture. I won't bite, darling.
You bet. Jean Gullett Carrick.
Come on this way. Oh, wonderful guy. Congratulations. Let's get Sandy to look. That's your name right there.
Jean McQuarrie.
Come on this way, my dear. Great. Congratulations. We'll just look at Sandy and all those other cameras.
Jeanette Nazar Brenton.
Come on this way, dear. How are you? Congratulations. Oh, I do. I do. Look this way. You know Bob's? Okay. You betcha.
Okay, you betcha.
Oh, nice. I'll just help you out. Oh, good. Good. Super.
I'll call up Corinne Adar Dempster.
Congratulations. Nice to see you all.
Joan Atchison Fisher.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. We'll get a picture with you both. Come on. You got the diploma there, certificate? I'll get you to hold that like that, my dear. Come on over here, Sandy. He's giving me instructions at the station. Congratulations. Want to come back to the there, my friend?
June Gowanlock Clark.
Congratulations. I want to hold your flag there so Sandy can get a picture of that. There. Little story about this. I think she knows me very well. Her daughter over there. I think we're in nursery together.
Very nice.
Wow, there you go. Yeah. A couple years ago.
Oh, yeah. Jeez. June Mead Cook.
Congratulations. I'll just get you to hold your picture in front so we can send you a picture of it. Good, like that? That'd be great. Camera shot. And a flash. No.
Lori MacKay Hayes.
Congratulations. Great. I'll just get you to hold that picture. Thank you. You're welcome.
Mabel Ben, Rep, daughter Sue Clark.
Congratulations. Very-
Mabel Clark Mitchell.
You got a cheering section, Mabel. Very popular. Congratulations. We'll just get a picture. Look at all those cameras here.
Holy
We
smokes.
don't want to blink, do we? Oh, turn your plaque here, my dear. Yeah, the other this way. There you go. Yeah. Congratulations.
Marg Meadows Prouse.
Congratulations. Good to see you. Just get you to turn and you can get a picture there. There you go. There you go. Great. You're welcome. Just Gord Woolley. I'll get Gord now to do some handing out.
Oh, sure.
You take a turn now.
Might as well. We'll call up Mary Kakura Adams. Mildred Clark Murray. Minta Finney Boudreau, and the rep is niece Judy Walker. There you go. Rita Slevin Woodland. Rose Habak Haynes, and the rep is niece Melissa Habak. Ruth Down, and the rep is daughter Roz Russell Turk. Sarah Brown Finney, and the rep, daughter and sons Judy Walker, Larry Finney, and Jeff Finney. Just one? Okay, just one. And it's Jeff. Shirley Walker Bray. Vi Hatch McFarlane, and the rep, Gladwin Scott. Herb Carrick, the coach, rep, son Bill Carrick. Ralph Watton, coach, and the rep is son Brian Watton. Jim Scott, the bat boy. Jerry MacKay, sponsor. Darcy MacKay, coach, rep, daughter Lori Zwarich. And not in attendance tonight, Anis Kaharski-Cox, Greta Robinson, Marg Sawi-Thompson, Maureen Keller, Mildred McCauley, Betty Sorensen, Mary Snowden, Phyllis Young-Dow, and Keith Burgess, coach. And now I'd like to call on Irene Watton to say a few words tonight.
Thank you for all coming. The Rumford's team, 1948 to 1951, and Curly MacKay's from 1952, would like to thank Gladwin Scott and Debbie Baker for nominating the teams to the Manitoba Hall of Fame, and for the Hall of Fame accepting us. Herb Carrick, the coach of Rumford's, would have been very proud that his team received such an honor. Assistant coaches were Ralph Watton and Keith Burgess. Darcy MacKay was coach of Curly's. Thank you again to the Hall of Fame. And I'm sure glad everybody showed up. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Irene. It's now time for our first individual inductee into the athlete category, and that's Don Campbell. He had a 30-year career, winning league, provincial, and Western Canada championships, being named an All-Star and MVP on numerous occasions. One season in particular, he was the All-Star first baseman and the coach of the team. Don, welcome to the Hall of Fame. Come on up.
I'd like to start by thanking the selection committee for this honor, and a big thank you to my friend Bev Workman, who took the time and the effort to nominate me. Thanks, Turk. When I was first informed of this award, I thought of it more as a team award than an individual one, and I'll maybe touch on that in a moment. I would also like to congratulate the other inductees this year. I had the privilege of playing against and with three of this year's inductees in Gord, Falk, Les Ellchuk, and Brad Wright. And it's interesting how your perspective on guys sometimes changes when they're playing on your own team. Also inducted this year is Bill White, representing the umpires. Bill umpired many of our games over the years. I was a little surprised when I entered the building tonight. The Canada Inns doesn't have a section over here where people can keep their pets. And it got me to wondering, how did all the umpires get here without their seeing eye dogs tonight? Sorry, Bill, I just wanted to get the last word in for once. When I was thinking of a theme for my acceptance speech, I settled on life lessons or things I've learned from playing ball. My first memory of a ball game was a trip that we took with our school team to play in Horton. Now, I've heard some people that I've played with over the years complain that a diamond was like playing in a pasture, but anybody that's played in Horton, it was literally a cow pasture. You had to be careful not to slide into the round base or your mom would be washing it out of your pants. But that was many years ago, and nobody would remember the details of that game. Okay, we got beat 31-1. That was life lesson number one. Later, we formed the Minto Mustangs, playing in local tournaments on Sundays. Entered the Southwest League, where we had to do some carpooling because a lot of our guys weren't even old enough at that time to have driver's licenses. And I believe one of the defining moments for our team was when we entered the Senior A provincial tournaments in Winnipeg one year. At that time, you didn't have to qualify as a Senior A team or be registered as one. You just paid your money and took your chances. And as I recall, we got taught some more life lessons that weekend, but we were competitive and we managed to win a game or two. And I think it was from that point on, the guys on the team decided that they wanted to play more competitive ball rather than have ball just as a social outing. And from that point forward, we went on and competed in several provincial championships, winning quite a few, and was highlighted by being one of the first Manitoba teams to win a Western Canadian Championship in 1988. I was also fortunate enough to compete in an ISC World Tournament, which turned out to be a big thrill for me. One thing I always took a lot of pride in was telling people about Minto. We would go to these Western Canadian Championships or big tournaments in the States, and people would ask, where is Minto? So I would explain to them, it's a small town of around 100 people. And they were quite amazed how we could compete against teams like Vancouver and Calgary's and Saskatoon's, and where they had hundreds of people to choose from. We also had a wee bit of fun along the way. I recall one trip we made to a tournament in the US where we thought it would be a good idea to take along a designated driver. So 3 or 4 hours into the trip home, the boys had had enough pops that they were freely offering advice to the driver on how fast to go, where to turn. We came upon a red light on the interstate highway where, upon our designated driver kind of F-bomb you guys, gets out of the van and starts walking down the interstate. Now you have to imagine this in your mind. You got 11 guys sitting in the van kind of looking around at each other. There's nobody in the driver's seat. The door's wide open, light turns green, turns red, turns green, turns red. And I never did figure out what the lesson was there, but one thing we've learned on these trips to the States, if a rather large state trooper opens the side door in your van and a bunch of empty beer cans come rolling out on his feet, it's probably not going to end well. I had a good mentor in my dad who always said if you worry about the team's success, individual stuff would look after itself. As I said at the start of my speech, I look at this more as a team award, and I feel truly fortunate to play on a team with a core group of guys that had the same attitude. They were more worried about team wins and losses than batting averages or errors or stolen bases. Playing with these guys was truly enjoyable, and I'm happy that the team was previously inducted into the Hall and got some of the recognition that they deserve. So in conclusion, if I can take a personal moment, I'd like to remember 2 of the original members of our team, Terry Cease-Joy and my younger brother Tex, who were both taken from us way too early. I'm sure Tex is looking down tonight with a smile upon his face. And as parents and grandparents, I'd like to urge everyone here to encourage your children to get involved in sports. It doesn't matter what sport they're involved in. It doesn't matter that they're never going to make the professional level. As long as they're having fun, they're learning a lot about life. I'm sure I could walk around the room here and ask a lot of people, and they would tell me about places they would have never traveled to, people they never would have met if it hadn't been for their involvement in sports. So on behalf of my beautiful wife, Jossie, our kids, family members and friends and team members in attendance, I would like to thank you for this honor. This is a life lesson I will carry with me for a long time. Thank you.
The next inductee is Ellchuk in the athlete category. Unbelievable resume, took part in 8 national men's championships, 7 international events, was an MVP, player of the year in our province, and coached high school ball for 18 years. Les, come get your award and then come up to the podium.
Good evening, Fastball fans, friends, and family. Congratulations to my fellow inductees and teams on your recognition this evening. The gentlemen that are inducted are former teammates of mine. Brad Wright, one of the best all-round ball players from this province that I have ever played with. Gord Falk, whose off-field power and ability to get in the way of a lot of ground balls using any part of his body helped make some of our innings shorter. Don Campbell, those towering right field home runs were always a welcome sight when we were teammates. And Jim Richards, not many better consistent leadoff batters that covered center field and beyond like a blanket. Being recognized by the fastball community is a great honor that I am humbled by. I have been very fortunate to play with some great players on some very good teams. I share this honor with the members of those teams. This includes the Sandy Lake Comets, the Elphinstone Outlaws, Brandon Merchants, Portage Diamonds and Phillies, Winnipeg Millers, Asham's Mud Hens, Minto Mustangs, Gladstone Whips, and the Clan-William Grays. I want to thank the outfielders like Doc and Dick and Cruz and Fetty that made those great catches and pinpoint throws to home that allowed me to put on a simple tag on a runner trying to score. I want to thank the infielders like Germ and Kyler and Arch and Muchie and Roscoe who turned a bad throw to second or third into an inning-ending out. Thank you to the pitchers that were always a part of any team's success. Your ability to pitch with power or finesse to close the door and book them made my job easier. I'm lucky to have shared a lot of victories and no-hitters with you over the years. Thanks, Knack, Bush, Turk, and Cleo. Thank you to the team leaders, the managers, the coaches, the organizers. You got us registered, entered into tournaments, and kept us focused on getting the job done. And you put me in the lineup. Thanks, Knack, Turk, Arch, Dale, Dobie, Jay, and Al. Thanks to Don at Manitoba Softball for your help and assistance over the years, and to the organizing committee for tonight's banquet. I can't forget the boys in blue. You kept me in almost every game I played in. Thanks to Max and Shaq for nominating me for this honor. And I want to thank my family. Mom and Dad for your encouragement and support. Brent, there was always a room at Shea Brent's when I was in the city for ball. And to Cheryl, your support for my gallivanting over the past 30 years will never be lost in my heart. Thank you to my extended family, neighbors and friends for your wishes and your wishes, and for those that have traveled to come here and share this event this evening. And in closing, back to you, Cheryl. When it was announced that this event was going to be on May 2nd, it gave me a unique opportunity to say happy birthday to you in front of 600 people. Cheryl also shares her birthday with her sister Jerry, and Jerry's here this evening also. Happy birthday, Jerry. I have been very fortunate to play this great game. I've had the opportunity to travel across Canada and the Midwest US and beyond to play, but most of all, I've been very fortunate to make new friends because of it. And thanks to all of you for attending this special evening.
Thank you very much. Next inductee, Gord Falk. Gord captured many championships and was a perennial all-star. On 2 occasions with his son Trevor, they captured provincial championships together with the Clan-William Grays. Gord, come on up.
I just ripped it. Okay. I would like to thank everyone that came out today. I'm currently unemployed, so if anybody needs a ball player, 534-5154. This is fantastic, all these people coming out. Congrats to the athletes that made the Hall of Fame. Thank you, Murray Blight, for nominating me. It was a privilege to be inducted first with Manitoba Mustangs, now as an individual. I believe we went through the best era of the world, lots of fastball and freedom. My wife and Debbie and I were married July 3rd, 1976, and the next day for our honeymoon, we went to the Treehorn Fastball Tournament. Due to some players not being fit to play, Debbie was our 9th player. We won the B side. And Debbie reminds me that at the end of the day, her batting average was actually better than mine. I'm very thankful for the support of my wife and boys all these years. I played in a lot of teams, meeting a lot of good people out there. I'd like to thank Bev Workman and the rest of the Minto team for putting up with me. That wasn't easy. And allowing me to play on one of the best teams around. Minto Mustangs were the first Manitoba team to win Western Canadian Championships in Richmond, BC, 1988. Also, I was with City Centre. We were the first Manitoba team to win the prestigious Minot, North Dakota tournament. Another highlight was winning a provincial title with Clan William while playing with my son Trevor on the team. So many years of fastball, fun, and friends. Thank you again for the honor. Enjoy your evening.
Thanks a lot, Gord. If I could call up the J and G team as well. You're about to enter the Hall of Fame, so you can assemble over there by Murray Blight. That'd be great. Next Hall of Famer, Lois Johnston in the athlete category. Lois and her Crandall community team won 80 of their 100 tournament games from 1962 to 67. She helped her teams win numerous provincial titles and had the opportunity to represent Manitoba at the national level and is a multi-time MVP. Lois, welcome to the Hall of Fame. Oh, I'm not too sure.
Definitely a little bit lower, eh?
Yeah.
First of all, I'd like to thank the Manitoba Softball Hall of Fame Association. They have done such a very good job for all of the athletes for fastball or softball. And the other thing is, I would also very much like to thank my family for putting up with all the ball games we attended. And thank you all for coming tonight. It's been great. Thank you.
We'll begin with the induction of our second team tonight, the 1957-58 Jacobsen and Greiner men's fastball team. In 57, they captured the championship in their league's inaugural year and represented Brandon at the provincials. In 58, they made it back to the championship where they lost in a 7th and deciding game. Almost all the players worked for the company, and from 56 to 57, built their own softball diamond at 4th Street and Van Horn. First team member I'd like to call up is Ken Holland. Glenn Erkson. Bob Fines. Dick Lougheed. Ken Williamson. Dunk Grierson. Bob Shinsky, Rep, Patches, Morrison, Pearson. Jim Gray, Rep, daughter Diane Moorhead. Gord Greiner, Rep, his wife Eleanor. Glenn Thompson, Rep, son Don Thompson. Vinyl Jacobsen, Rep, son Jack Jacobsen. Walter Greiner, Rep, son William Greiner. Not in attendance tonight: Ken Truss, Paul Christie, Ted Dewar, Roy Gilks, Ernie Livingston, Jack Treadwell, Keith Burgess, and Dick Heen. Now I'd like to call on Dick Lougheed to say a few words here tonight.
Well, good evening, folks. It's been a great evening. I remember when we played ball, it was a lot of fun. I think we had more fun after the ball games than what we did playing ball. There's quite a few stories I could tell here, but I think maybe I better just keep them for the ball team. That might get me in trouble. All I can say, thanks everybody for coming, and it's been a great evening. They can't take this away from us because it's been a great trip, and we've had a lot of fun doing it. Thank you.
And that brings the first half to an end. We're now going to take a short intermission and allow the host committee to get our final inductees ready to go. Also be your last chance to purchase auction tickets as well. I'd like to call on Jim Richards, Lynn Wright, Wally Essie, Bill White, and the Brandon Pizza Place ladies fastball team assemble to the stage to my right, please. We'll take a short break and be right back. 65 to 69 was inducted into the hall in this very room. With the nucleus of that team, they went on to win the Brandon and District Fastball League 5 consecutive years. They captured the Manitoba Intermediate A-Men's Championship in 1969. In 2009, we were not able to get in touch with Dan Fournier, who now lives in Medicine Hat, but we are pleased to have him with us tonight along with his wife Jan. Dan was born in northern Quebec and joined the military in 1967. Transferred to Rivers in 1968 and played for 7-Up in 1969. In 1970, Dan was stationed at over 10 bases in Canada, the U.S., and foreign bases like Cyprus with paratrooping and peacekeeping duties. Dan retired in 2001, then retired from playing ball in 2005. Dan has a saying that holds true to all the ball teams here tonight. A great team has a Kirby at first base, a Hoover at second base, a Dirt Devil at short, a Dyson at third, a Roadrunner at center, Jackrabbit at right, Rocket Launcher at left field, and finally a good pitcher with a cannon for an arm. Dan, please come forward. And he's right there. If you want to say something, for sure.
This is unique. That was a surprise. First, I want to thank the award committee and congratulate all the other inductees. And I want to thank the Manitoba Softball Hall of Fame Museum for all the hard work they do and what they've been doing, and the past organizer and the present people. I've been excited since my conversation with Ellchuk on the 22nd of January. Alan confirmed that the Brandon 7-Up had been inducted in 2009. During a trip to Bazzano in Alberta to watch my grandson play hockey in a hockey tournament, I rode with Jim Derwin. He grew up in Medicine Hat. Some of you might know him. And during the trip, I found out that Jim grew up in Brandon. And I told him that I used to play ball in Brandon for Brandon 7-Up in the 60s. And they were the best team I've ever played with in all my travels with the military. And so he looked up at Brandon 7-Up on his computer and found out that they were inducted in the Hall of Fame in 2009. And they had lost track of me since 1970 due to my transfers from Edmonton and Cyprus and Quebec City, and I went to the Commandos in Edmonton, and the Submarine Squadron in Halifax, CF-18 in St. Louis. Anyway, in 83, 87, I got transferred to CFB Suffield, and I played fastball with a military-based team there. 88, I got transferred to Sudbury, Ontario, and I finally retired from the forces in 1989, and I returned to Medicine Hat, Alberta. And after pitching, I played ball until I reached 57, when my whole body quit after 50 years. But ball, the Brandon 7-Up ball team was always in my conversation when I talk about ball. I must congratulate Bill Edwards and Bill Houston, who've been inducted from the team as an individual player. And I want to thank the rest of the 7-Up players who made this happen. The team taught me a lot about ball, the camaraderie, and I think that the main reason for our success was that we were like kids. We had a lot of fun and joke a lot and to stay loose. And while I'm in this subject, I want to give you a little anecdote that happened one time. My French is still not that good. My English is still not that good. But see, that's the way it is. So one time I grew up in northern Quebec. I worked in the gold mine before I joined the forces. And then my first posting was Rivers. So I was trying to learn French as I played ball with the boys. And one of the third basemen from the Rivers team used to say whenever you catch the ball and you turn your head like this, he said, you turn your head, you should be dead. So here we are, we're in Oak Lake in a big ball tournament. And I'm in a stand, I see this third guy gets a line drive, no grounder, he goes like this. I said, you turn your head, you should be die. Everybody's laughing. Well, I said, I do the best I are. So after that, whenever the players went up to bat, and if they struck out, they're really mad and they're pissed off at themselves. I said, well, I do the best I are. Then they forget they struck out. And for the tradition of fastball, it's dying. But now where we live in Medicine Hat, the kids are playing fastball. And the tradition continues. My little granddaughter, 11-year-old, pitched windmill. And last year she didn't lose a game. I went to watch her last Thursday. Good kid. So I want to thank my wife for being here and supporting me all these years. And thank you people for coming over.
Our next inductee tonight is Jim Richards, who's being honored in the athlete category. Jim played for over 30 years with the Clan William Grays and played in over 1,500 games with over 1,500 hits. From 1977 to 83 in the Brandon Centennial Fastball League, he was named the best defensive outfielder and an all-star each year, and he also earned MVP honors during that run. Jim, please come forward.
Thank you for my nomination and congratulations to all the inductees. I was fortunate enough to play with and against most of the individual inductees. It is indeed an honor to be included amongst you all. And to Bill Wright, the great umpire, who thought the players should always be in the spotlight. We got along most of the time. Staying healthy enabled me to play fastball for 30 years. I'm proud to say that all 30 were with the Clan William Grays. I experienced many highlights over my career, being able to play with my brother Charlie for 12 years and winning 3 provincial titles in 3 different decades, only to mention a few. A big thank you to Al McPherson, who I played with every season. He managed the grades for every year of the team's existence. Without his hard work and dedication, the grades would not have enjoyed such longevity. Al possibly loves the game even more than I do. It was great to be part of such a successful team with many excellent players. This allowed us to play against any team across the province. My teammates are a big reason why I'm standing here today. The Grays developed a strong bond over the years. When we weren't playing fastball, we spent countless hours either curling, playing hockey, golfing, or hunting. Those close friends I made over the years will last a lifetime, which is even more important than the game of fastball or any individual awards I have attained. I would like to thank my family, my teammates, and my good friends who are all here tonight to help me celebrate this special occasion. Thank you all.
Our next individual inductee for 2015 is Brad Wright, who's being inducted in the athlete category. During a 5-year run in the Brandon District Fastball League from 79 to 83, he was named MVP, the top pitcher, and an All-Star. Also during his career, he played with Dauphin at the Western Canadians in Kelowna, where he pitched 57 straight innings, earning the team a bronze medal, and he was named MVP. His brother, Lynn Wright, will be accepting the award on his behalf tonight.
It's nice to see a lot of old familiar faces here this evening. And on behalf of Brad and his wife Gail, I would like to thank Murray Blight and Dave Shayak for nominating Brad, and to all of those involved with the Hall of Fame committee in making it possible for Brad to enter the Manitoba Softball Hall of Fame. I know Brad would feel very honored and privileged to be thought of in the same regards as all those inducted this evening, and to all those that have previously been inducted. Brad would want to congratulate everyone being honored this evening, and especially those that he played against or had the chance to play with for all those years. Jim, Les, Gord, Don, Brad had the utmost of regards for you guys, your playing ability, and the sportsmanship you showed on and off the field. Brad started softball as a second baseman in the Verdun and District Fastball League. He then came to the Brandon Centennial League, and that's where his pitching came to dominance, and he earned most of his success in this league. When people asked Brad about the ball team, he very rarely talked about pitching. He always thought it was just one part of a team sport. He was more apt to talk about team defense. He was always very proud of that part of the team. He claimed that played a significant part in his personal success. Brad thought very highly of his teammates, and was proud to be a Scotch Premier for all those years. In closing, and on a personal note, I would like to say that it was a real pleasure to play with my brother for so many years, and it was a personal treat to get to watch his progress of his talent each and every year. It just seemed to get better, and it was get to watch it firsthand, and most of the time sore hand. But I believe it was a very deserved award, and he would be very proud. And thank you all for coming this evening. Thank you.
Our next inductee tonight is Wally Essie in the builder category. As a boy, he walked 12 kilometers to buy his first glove, and every step was worth it. In 1998, he was one of 5 members of the Manitoba Aboriginal Sports and Recreation Council that made a bid for the 2002 North American Indigenous Games. In 2002, he helped teams fundraise to attend summer games at Cross Lake, helped coordinate 4 Canadian Girls Fastball Championships in 94, 95, 99, and 2000. Wally, welcome to the Hall of Fame.
I was going to do a victory song, not a victory dance, but I forgot my moccasins. To be recognized for this induction, I had lots of help. I couldn't do it myself. Thank you to the volunteers, coaches, and players, and spectators who made our tournaments a success. To our business people in town here, and the sponsors that I had, I thank you very much for making our tournaments a success. To the City Rec Department, thank you for your assistance in guiding me through things that I could do at Curtin Park and helping me with equipment and even a truck that I could use to spray the grounds for all the the baseball players or fastball players that came to play at Curtin Park. Dakota Plains, your coaches, players and teams, thank you. From day one, you supported all the tournaments that I had organized. Dakota's fastball players, Charlie, Claude, Stacy, Ken, Tim, Donnie, Arden, thank you for coming. My fellow coaches, J.B. McKenzie, Everett Cody, Phyllis Pratt, Stacy Pratt, Kenny MacKay and Franklin MacKay, Edward Romadiska, and my wife Rose, thank you for making our programs a success. I can't read my own. Oh yeah, Commercial League presidents, Mr. Hanna and Mr. Blight, thank you for the leadership you provided. I learned a lot from you guys. Jim Ney, Magic Fastball Organization, thank you for letting me get involved in all the tournaments that you had done here provincially and nationally. I had lots of fun with volunteers that were from Brandon, and especially those 3 old, I call it grumpy old men that helped us that one year. They sure made the event a real fun place to work. Minto Mustangs, thank you for the idea of using I call it magic carpet. I used that similar carpet in all the tournaments that we had organized at Curtin Park, and I got lots of praises from different teams all over Canada for that carpet that I kind of improvised and improved on it. So I think even a team from BC, some rocky place anyway, said that they were going to make a similar thing. Okay, thank you very much for everybody coming tonight, and have a safe trip home.
Our last individual inductee tonight is Bill White in the builder category. Been involved in the sport for over 40 years. Started out as a player, then won a provincial championship as a coach. Then in 1975, he became an umpire, and he graduated through the Manitoba and national ranks as an umpire. Bill, please come forward.
that one more time. Anyway, I want to welcome everybody here tonight. It's just a fantastic crowd. This is really above expectations. I think even for Murray, who has highest expectations all the time for everything. So I really want to thank Murray and my buddy old Wayne Griffin over there, and Bruce Lupke back in the corner. Thank God the Wheat Kings won, so he could be here for us. There was the guys that nominated me, and I'm really pleased about that. This has become a really important evening for me. My kids are home, a son from Vancouver and a son from Calgary, and my daughter lives here, and I got a couple of grandkids here. And what's so important, I even put a new blade in the razor this morning, so that's something. I mean, that really means something for me. So I want to thank all the family and friends. Friends of mine traveled from Winnipeg and Oakburn and all areas north of Brandon to be here with me. And I'd just like to know, with all those films, was it Les, who put that video together? Beamer, where the hell did you get an umpire wearing blue jeans? First thing you notice when you're another umpire, so. And I want to thank, where's Smokey? Where's Smokey? Yeah. You're a marked man. There's about a dozen umpires here tonight looking for you. And they've all got their dogs. So there you go. It's an honor, like I said, for me to be here because probably I'm a little unusual in the fact that I sort of have a connection to everybody that's being inducted tonight, being an umpire. I've umpired all the male players. I've umpired Lois and coached against her at times. The Rumford ladies, 48 to 60 to 52 or whatever, my aunt is on the team. And the Pizza Place team, we played them back in the 70s when I used to coach Royal Oak Inn, and it was Royal Oak Inn back then. And the Pick-a-Pop girls, never did beat them, but we gave them a good scare a couple of times. And the J&G team that got inducted tonight, after I retired from the government, I actually worked for Jack and the boys for 7 years, so I sort of feel a connection there. So I've got a connection to everybody who's being inducted tonight, so that makes me feel good that I know them all. Getting back to the players with Smokey back there, Don Campbell, I got a little clip on everybody here. You always remember Smokey. He was the big first baseman. He had the big bat, and he had a bigger glove that was probably illegal the whole time he was playing. That's Ellchuk, probably one of the best catchers I ever umpired behind. He was always friendly. He always tried to smooth talk you and get the best he could out of you as an umpire. And everybody will remember who played ball will remember Les stepping out from behind the plate. Nobody, including his players, knew what the hell he was doing. But I think it made him feel pretty good anyway. So. Falk. All you can say about Gordy is he's kind of the next thing to a bionic man. He's got more braces and things on his legs. But there was never any quit in him. Jimmy Richards. Thanks for the compliment there, Jimmy, when you were giving the talk. I guess I have to give you something back. Jimmy was always a gamer. I mean, he played every game to his fullest, whether it was a no-meaning game or whether it was a provincial playdowns game. He was always there. And the reason he said that I was a fair umpire and stuff was he had the meanest friggin' scowl you ever saw. So if you made a bad call on him, or bad to him, we don't make bad calls, but bad to him, he just had this scowl that was unbelievable. That takes us now to Brad Wright, and unfortunately I umpired Brad, but not for a very long period. It wasn't too long after I started that Brad actually retired. But all I remember is the ball coming in as a blur and nothing but arms and legs on the mound. Geez, that guy could hurl the ball. And Lois played for the Pizza Place when I was coaching against them, and she was always a gamer, a good little catcher. You know, and when I got into umpiring, you never had to worry about pass balls when she was back there. And last of the inductees, Wally, not much you can say about Wally except that he was the consummate manager when it came to looking after diamonds. Anytime we had a Western Canadian or we had a national there, Wally was always the first guy they called to get his team together and bring all that green John Deere equipment out onto the diamonds. And he was just unbelievable. You'd get to the diamond at 7 in the morning, Wally and his crew would already be up and be out working on the diamonds. And it was just tremendous work you did, Wally. You were really, I don't know if you got told, but you were really appreciated. So anyway, I just want to thank everybody again. It's a great day for me. I think it's been a pretty good day for my family too. And I look out and the number of faces I've seen and the people that I've wished I could have thrown out of ball games over the years. It's just unbelievable. Like I told, I guess it was Tyler in the interview, I said I would rather use honey than vinegar. So I was a pretty good guy. Plus, you know, we were really good with ball players. Sometimes they give you a beer after. So anyway, thanks everybody for coming out. Now I want to thank my nomination.
Our final inductees tonight are the Brandon Pizza Place ladies fastball team. Their historic run began in 1974 when they won their league championship and a provincial title. In 1975, they completed the same feat. They also added league titles in 76 and 78, and also in 76, they came up one win short of winning a third straight provincial title. Call up the following team members. Lois Johnston. Linda Kidd Chorley. Janie Farmer. Betty Cooling. Iris Anderson. Doreen Bug. Chris Moore. Sherry Jones. Sharon Pedlow. Gloria Morrison McKenzie. McMillan. Hopefully this one's right. Joyce Evans. Susan MacKay. Lorna Mackenzie Lung. Lorraine Comber. Lorna Fairburn Clywalk, Rep. Wilma Neville. Dawn Dickinson Winter. Debbie Williamson. Ev Oliver, Rep. Granddaughter Kelsey McLennan. Lori Andrews. Lyle Anderson. Dennis Johnson. Bob Walker. And not attending, Donna Reddy. Now I'd like to call up Janie Farmer to say a few words.
Thank you, Tyler. You should see all the paper he's got on the floor back here. Viewers have been doing. It's nice to see such a lovely crowd out tonight. On behalf of the Pizza Place team, I'd like to thank the Softball Hall of Fame for inducting us. As soon as we start talking about Softball Hall of Fame, Gladwin Scott comes to mind. And I'm sure you all have his name, ringing in your ears when you think over the years with ball. So we'd all like to thank him. Murray Blight and all his committee, all the volunteers from Brandon and Winnipeg, Trudy Nay. There's too many to mention. I wouldn't want to miss anybody, but they've all done a wonderful job. And without them, all this kind of thing wouldn't be possible. To reflect back on our team, Pizza Place, back in 1974, we got together and we combined 2 teams actually. And there was 4 of us in particular, myself, Betty Cooling, Linda Chorley, and Lois Johnston, and we curled together. So one night over a 7-Up after curling in 73, we decided maybe it's about time that we got a new team together. So we did, and we decided, well, what would happen if we approached Bob Walker from Pizza Place to see if he would be our sponsor. So Betty and I went down there and we kind of snuck in there and we talked to him, and gee whiz, just all this excitement. He said yes, he'd be thrilled to be our sponsor. So it just took off from there. We had a great group of girls. Everybody had a competitive spirit in their own individual way. Experiences through high school. We didn't have internet, so we did a lot of ball playing back in those days. So that's how that came about. We were fortunate enough when we first started out, we had 2 really good coaches. We had Laurie Andrews and Lyle Anderson, and they both played ball themselves in leagues and tournaments and so on, so we were very fortunate that they gave up some of their private time to help us, and they did. And after that, we had Dennis Johnson came on board with us after that, and there again, another great, wonderful man, ball player himself, and knew all about how to keep us girls in line. Married man with children, so he was kind of disciplined and taught us the power of practice, and it paid off. It really did, Dennis. Yeah. So we're lucky we had him, because we were all kind of young and wild and crazy, but we all gelled together. We had a really good pitching staff, infield, outfield. It kind of sounds like when you stand up here like you're bragging, but we did. We had a really good group of girls, and they just all gelled together, and away it went from there. So I hope I haven't forgotten anybody. Oh, here comes trouble now. God, he's going to give me shit like usual.
No, actually, I miss coaching the ladies, especially the bed checks before the tournaments.
Yeah, he was good at that. Anyway, without any more bragging kind of thing, but we did play a lot of tournaments together, and were successful at that. And after our team ended in 78, we had the success of the 2 provincials and the 4 championships in the Brandon district. We all went on and continued to play together with different sponsors, but great group of girls. Greatest time in my life. It was just wonderful. Couldn't ask for better. I think you all feel the same. Thank you.
Could Mr. Lyle Anderson come to the podium?
Good evening, folks. Being accused of being the fastest baseball runner in the world by Ron Westcott sitting over there, so thanks, Ron, for that, but I couldn't walk that fast coming up here. Did my best. I'm not going to bore you with a lot of details, folks, this evening, but I'd like to pay tribute to the City of Brandon, the Mayor, to you, sir, for all the efforts I'm sure you put forth financially, et cetera, to the Manitoba Sports Hall of Fame, softball, baseball. I had the good fortune of being inducted with the Riverside Canucks, who are, some of them are here, some of the folks, and some of them are not, but it was the greatest time of my life to spend in Brandon, as well working in the City of Brandon. And last but not least, I'd like to pay a special tribute to my family, sitting in table 36, stand to be corrected, for traveling a very, very long distance to come and spend a special evening with me to see all you folks. I'm going to take this back to, if you look on page 2, the people you're looking there, I work for the Operational Director for Public Works Canada in Parliament Hill, so I'll make sure that Ottawa know about what's going on out here, and hopefully your funding will always stay in place. Thank you very much and have a great evening.
And let's give all of our inductees one more big round of applause.